How aware are we? Well, let's find out together. Because if I would ask you now to raise your hand and to answer on the question that you can see behind the people on the photo, how many of you would say, I feel okay, so I guess I'm healthy? Just raise your hand if you would answer like that. I feel okay, so I guess I am healthy. Now, keep that hand up if you checked your health also in the last 7 days. Did you check using a biostrip to scan your health in the last 7 days? If the answer is yes, keep your hand up. I see people raising their hands. Some of them did, some of them maybe don't. I don't want to judge, but it's just a matter of knowing how aware you are. Because BioKissed was created with one goal, and it is creating awareness around your personal health and giving you back control. To make sure that BioKissed is working in the right way for you, are you ready to check 4 things? The first one is, are you using the latest BioKissed app version? Not longer than today, I received from somebody who was in the call a question, how can I see if I'm using the latest BioKissed app version? Well, that's actually a very good question, because for you to make sure that whatever you do with BioKissed, make sure you're using the latest version of the application. One way to find out, and that's actually a very easy one, is to just go to the App Store and to check if you can update the application or not. So if you go to the App Store and you see that you can open it and you don't have to update, it means you're using automatically the latest version. That's a very important one, because since the latest version, you can see that there's a lot of adjustments going on around the goal setting, around the push notifications you receive, scan notifications based on your personal goals, and so on and so on. If you're not using the latest version yet, the application is not yet guiding you in the right direction as it could be. So this is an easy way to find out. Second thing to check is, did you then set up your goals to actually achieve the goal you want to have with your health? And based on that goal, also your wake-up time. Why is it important? Well, we need to know when you wake up. We don't need to know it, but the application needs to know to calculate for you when is the ideal moment to scan, because the application does this based on your personal settings, based on your goal, based on who you are. And how you can find out, or where you can find out how to do this is actually like this. First step is you go to your profile and then you click on settings. Once you clicked on settings, you go to personal info, and from personal info, you can first set your goals and then set up your wake-up time. If you set up your goals, you will see that during the setup, you click one goal and it might, some of the goals disappear because they are not, there's not a way to combine certain goals together. And based on that selection, based on who you are and so on, the system will automatically calculate for you what is the ideal moment to scan based upon your goals and all the rest. And then based on this wake-up time, it will notify you. Once this is done, step number 2 is something that is also already checked. Step number 3. Can you remember when you scanned the last time? It's easy to forget this. Well, I know, and if I don't know, I can go check. You can find it right on the top of the first screen. When was your last scan? My last scan was on the 4th of August, so 1 day ago. My score was a 7.9 out of 10, and this is how to find out. In the newer version that is coming, there will also be a date saying when your next scan will be. So that's also very handy, because people sometimes wonder, do I have to scan tomorrow? Don't I have to scan? Well, we're going to put the date there, and we're even going to warn you the day before already. Not just on the morning you wake up, when you need to scan, but also the day before. So if this is already checked, then there is a 4th thing you need to know, and it is, did you follow through on your last reminder? Because when you are using the latest BioKissed application and you set up your goals and your wake-up time, and you scanned the last time, well, the system starts automatically notifying you when is your next scan due. And you will see these notifications. If you click on the right top corner on your picture, you see a number. If you click on that picture, this will appear, the notifications. The ones that are like green or blue from color, like you see on this here, time for check, health check. On the 1st of August, I didn't react immediately in the morning because I got up a little later than 7 o'clock. Then around 10 o'clock, I did my scan, as you can see. And then yesterday, I also received a notification and I immediately reacted. So I don't get a new notification after missing the first one, because not scanning the first notification, you will get 3 notifications during the day to remind you that it's important to scan. But as you can see, I clicked on it and I scanned. That's what it shows here. Yesterday on the 4th, I scanned for the last time. That's how you know. On this notification, all these notifications, you see I have an outstanding number. If you can read it clearly, I have 81 unread messages. That doesn't mean that I didn't read them all, but it means that they appear unread. And we want to give you actually the possibility to say, I read them all, so that there's a button there that you can even delete them. It's not there yet, but it's not a big thing to create, but we don't want to release a new version again before we have some other news to put in the application. So these 4 things are quite important to make sure that you are on track. So once this is done and you checked all these 4 things, you're actually ready to go. Once you scanned the first time with your newest application and you set your goals and your wake-up time, the system will automatically warn you or push you a notification when you need to scan. Let's say you miss one day, it's not a problem, and you scan the day after, it will automatically recalibrate and start notifying you again after a certain amount of days. So the frequency is calculated by the application. Don't worry if you forget one time. If you forget to check on your health. So let me now tell you a little story. A story about Tom, Lisa, and Mia. Tom, he's a 39-year-old married father, has 2 kids, and his laptop is open before breakfast. He sleeps with his phone on his nightstand. He wakes up and scrolls before saying good morning. And his diet, not bad, not great. He drinks more coffee than water, and he forgets to eat lunch, and usually crashes around 3:30 in the afternoon. Typical example, Lisa, she's a 47-year-old full-time worker and recently divorced. Last year, she had a health scare and the doctor said, you're on the edge, so please try to be careful. And she found out about BioKissed, and not out of curiosity, but out of urgency. And her first scan, well, she felt a little bit ashamed. And then we have Mia, 34. She's a yoga teacher. She's really oriented on her body. She scans almost everything from heart rate over the steps. She does what she eats, everything. She joined BioKissed not because she's sick, but just because she wants more control. And that's okay too. She invites Lisa and Tom to her bio circle. Lisa, she joins, and Tom, he's a little bit hesitant, but eventually he agrees to join as well. They're friends. That's, I think, normal to assume. But my question is, do you see any resemblance with any of them? And it's not necessary if it's not the case, but I'm sure we all know people in this situation. We might even be one of them. At least I recognize myself in one of them. Now, when we started with BioKissed, we were all very motivated. I for sure was. I couldn't wait to get my hands on my strips. I was motivated to know more about my health. And the first few scans, they were based on willpower. Willpower because I was motivated to know more about my health, to find out, and I was also determined to change my health habits. This is good, but most people they forget after a while to scan. Willpower is something that, yeah, is not always there. In the beginning, when something is new, the motivation is very high. Well, the question is here, if checking your phone doesn't need motivation, why should your health, right? Willpower is, as you can read, like a battery, it drains very fast. And habitless health is hopeless health. That's why in the second dimension, we introduced the creation of habits based on notifications. If you think about it, there are a few things, and maybe more than we are aware of, things we do every morning or every day without even thinking about it. What habits did our parents teach us? Good habits, things we keep doing since we are born. Our parents teach us, and even we are teaching it to our children if you have any. Well, I am sure most people brush their teeth every morning, right? Well, why not scan your biostrip while the kettle boils? It doesn't take long. We all know it takes not more than 60 seconds to maximum 2 minutes to pee on a strip, to wait for 60 seconds, and then scan, and 10 to 15 seconds later, we have our results in our hands. The second dimension are habits. But habits win when motivation fades. But still, it's not because we have those habits that we will always do them. Sometimes we forget to brush our teeth, and then we rush back to the toilet and we brush them anyway. Just like scanning your biostrip. Sometimes you forget, even though you get a notification, even though they became part of your brain muscle, your brain memory, so to say. Things you will not forget, but sometimes we do. So, and then there is Mia in this case. She created for herself the third dimension, and that's a community of friends that are part of one group and that share their results together. And since let's say 10 days, I think, we are with a few people in the call here in a small experiment where we share our results together. And what we see happening is that these people that are in that small group already, they copied that behavior to their friends, and they are sharing their results together. Why? Because if you're part of a group or part of a community, what we see happening is that people start scanning more, that they want to show their results to their friends, and their friends do the same thing, vice versa. And that's very powerful. That's why a community is so important. In the future, because currently we have these communities already established on WhatsApp. Why? Because it's very easy. If you have a scan result, you can share it. And there's even a button saying, okay, share it via whatever profile, whatever medium you want to use to share it with, you can do that. We chose in our groups to do that via WhatsApp because that's something that almost everybody uses. What you can say is that alone you forget and together you follow through. If you create good personal intentions, they will become successful public follow-throughs, but when you do them together. That is why we created the buddy system. Now I want to ask you all, are you ready for a fun challenge? Because what I sat down about with a few friends here today is that we set up our own buddy group. It's a group of 3 friends or more, people you care about and you want to share your results with. Once you set up the group, start immediately with scanning and set the example. Share your results. If you created in your application a goal that maybe tells you to scan every 2 weeks or tells you to scan every 3 days, like in my case, and you're in a group with people who scan not as often as you, it doesn't matter. Every time people see your scan coming in, they get a reminder, oh yeah, my friends are scanning too, I need to follow through, because they keep actually you in line for your personal health. And once those people are in that group, motivate them to do the same thing with their friends. They will copy you. People don't do what you tell them to do. They will do what you show them to do. What you do yourself, they will copy you then. And the result of this is the next thing. It creates strong habits together. It creates also a better health for everyone. And also important is you have more active users. Most people here are in BioKissed also for the business part, and it's good to have more active users, right? Now, let me share an example of such a buddy group. Elaine, I see that you're in the call. If you were one of the first one to establish actually a group like this, could you maybe, where are you? Here you are. I'll ask you to unmute and maybe tell a little bit about your experience so far with these buddy groups.
Okay, so immediately we had the call last week. I then went on to my group and started talking about the buddy thing, and immediately people started sharing their results and sharing their experiences, and it's kind of rekindled the togetherness kind of thing that we have. So it's about communication and keeping together, and surprisingly some of the results were a lot better than we expected. So all in all, I think it's a very good thing to do, and it's about the communication, keeping together, because as you say, motivation does wane, and we all go through, you know, ups and downs on various different energy levels. And I don't know about anybody else, but here in Portugal, I'm sitting here with a towel. I'm melting. I'm absolutely melting. So when you're hot, you know, you lose your dehydration levels, you lose your energy, etc., etc. So keeping together with other people is a lot easier than just trying to do stuff on your own.
Yes, correct, Elaine. And that's also one of the things I saw. I have actually two buddy groups. One with the people I started the first buddy group with, including Elaine, Veerle, Andreas, Anna is here, I think, and some other people. I started with those people at first. From that group, I see new groups coming up. I even started a group with the staff members of BioKissed, and we see all kinds of behavior. Some people are very strict and they scan every time the application tells them to. Others forget. But when they see others scanning, they are actually motivated to not forget it the day after and then scan. And it's exactly what Elaine is saying. You see ups and downs in your results, and you also learn from each other. Like Andreas shared today that this is what he's doing when he's drinking a lot of water to stay hydrated very well. I know that he lives in a very warm country as well. And based on the fact that he's using a specific type of water, he even suggested to share this in the application. And I actually did suggest it to the development team to maybe include the part Andreas was sharing. So we can learn from you guys and you can learn from the application and vice versa. That's how this is supposed to work. This is how a community comes to life. Now, in the future, these communities will not only be sharing results, they will also start to challenge each other. We will create challenges in those communities, like games we create, like 7 days of perfect hydration, 30 days without alcohol, things like this. And it's a fun thing to do. You don't have to, but you can. But it keeps you in line. It keeps your health on a higher level. And that's actually what we all want, right? So these buddy groups, you can see these funny logos here. I will also share them separately if you want to use them for the WhatsApp groups. It's of course okay. That's why we created them. They are in the BioKissed colors, so nice to use. Okay, let's go and continue. Thanks very much, Elaine, for sharing your story. Now, what's next? Well, exciting times are ahead, because we spoke about the first dimension being motivated to scan, the second dimension getting notifications to scan and not forget, and the third dimension having a community. The community is already getting shape. And the next thing that is coming is that we create an application that increases our intelligence. Because if you think about it, your phone knows already when your flights are delayed. It even knows where you are, how many steps you've walked, when it's time to stand up, and so many other things. Well, shouldn't it be time that he also or she also knows when it's time for you? When it's important that your health is the #1 priority. That's where we're aiming for, because what we see is that the one size fits all doesn't work. It doesn't fit anyone. It's never perfect. And that's why it will be very important that soon, and we're already testing this, that the BioKissed AI will remind you based on your patterns, based on your rhythm, and based on your goals. We don't have to be scared about this because it's in your application. And I mean, AI is there to help us. AI is there to give an overview nobody else can in a very fast way. You have to see it like this. It will not only tell you what exactly to do, because today, if you look at the application tells you based on your parameters what the tips are. But these tips after a while might appear, oh, this one I see already, and this one I see already too. Because it's very difficult to create like 100 tips for the same thing, right? So when we have AI doing this, we will get a lot broader perspective. We have, we can combine all the parameters together and guide you in a perfect way to get an even better health. If you have a question, you will be able to use your application and ask the question related to those parameters directly to the application without interfering. The application will answer you. We are training an AI model based on our parameters we are scanning. And that's very, very powerful. If you look at the applications out there, there is not a single application doing this right now. We will be most likely the first one, and maybe even one of the only ones, because to be in that 4th dimension, that takes a lot of time and effort. And I'm going to tell you this, there is even a 5th dimension. I don't want to mention yet what it is. There is a 6th dimension, and even thinking already about a 7th dimension. So, as I said, exciting times are coming up. Now, to use all this information, you want to become successful with BioKissed. We created for you a very easy system, something that can help you to pique interest very fast with people. This is one of the most common questions I get. Pascal, how do you share BioKissed with other people? How do you sell BioStrips to other people? How you sell the application to other people? Well, my answer is, I don't sell it. I ask questions. And by asking questions and getting answers, people actually take action themselves. I've put these questions on the screen here, and you will see them shortly, to help you pique interest with people very fast. 4 questions. The first one is the yes question. What does this mean? You ask a question that is universally relatable. It lowers the resistance. And for the Dutch-speaking people, I've also put the Dutch translation under there, because I know there's a mix of a lot of English-speaking people and Dutch people always in the call. A yes question is a question that will always give you an answer that says yes. You check your phone every day, right? I am sure that everybody on the call answers to this question yes, if they see this. The second question is the emo question, where you actually create an emotional hook to create self-awareness. And the second question is, what is more important? Checking your phone, because people already confirmed that they do this, or checking your body? And I also know the answer. Most people say, yeah, my body is more important. My health is more important. You can replace the word body with health, of course. Huh? What is more important, checking your phone or checking your health? What is more important, checking your phone or checking your body? It comes down to the same thing. But I am sure that more people check on a daily basis more than one time their phone. But I'm also sure that most people don't bother checking their body on a daily basis. The reason why we ask this question is this makes people think, and it creates awareness. People become aware, oh, yeah, shit, I actually check my phone multiple times a day, even without noticing. But did I also check my body? Then up to question number 3. That's the what if. So we come from a yes question over an emo question to a what if question. What if question has these reasons. It needs to create curiosity. And in this case, it will connect wellness to opportunity. What if your phone could tell you exactly what your body needs? You could stop there, but you could also add, and even paid you to help others to do the same. And then you wait. You let curiosity sink in. People think, huh? Scanning my body with my phone and even getting paid if I share this with others? It's up to you to decide if you share that last part with people or not. But if you do, you're actually giving them an opportunity to both scan their health, share it with others, and get paid for it. And then the 4th question, that's a call to action question. The call to action is not to create pressure, but to create an action-based connection or conversion that does this. You want to try it for yourself? It only takes 60 seconds. This triggers people because it doesn't take long. You could say, you want to try the free application for yourself? It only takes 60 seconds. It gives you more information. It tells people it's free. Maybe that triggers people. You can adjust a little bit, but keep in mind 4 questions. In that order, will give the next thing, that is that it triggers people to ask you, can I test it? And there's an optional bonus line, and I want to share that as well with you. It starts with your own scan, but it can grow into something way bigger. People don't need convincing, they need awareness. That's what we offer. And yes, you get paid for that. That's to close actually the 4 questions and confirming that it starts with their scan. Whatever they want to do, if they want to share it with others, they can. If they want to get paid for it, they can. If they don't want to, that's also okay. But what we want as a company is we want to create awareness around your health, give you control. And if you want to share it, well, that's what we offer. Then yes, you can get paid for that. It's no obligation. All right. So now, why does this work, you might think? Because you're giving people clear reasons why this works. These clear reasons are, you are pitching empowerment. What does this mean? You're not pitching a product anymore. You're pitching a movement. We're not selling biostrips. We're not selling a BioKissed application. We are selling empowerment. We're actually giving people more power, more movement, so to say, more control over their own health. They get health insights for themselves. They have an easy income opportunity by helping others see the same. There are smart and duplicatable tools available. And this spreads organically, not awkwardly. You don't want to hunt people down by selling something. No, you just ask them some questions and they're going to answer, yes, I check my phone on a daily basis. And yes, my health is more important. They know that. Then why not scan one time, right? That's what it is. This positions you to grow without pushing people in one direction, without creating pressure on them. That's also very important. So you're just 4 easy questions away from someone saying, wait, it pays me to care about my health? And the answer is yes. It pays you to care about your health because you use this. You share what you are doing in your buddy groups, remember, in those buddy groups, there can be people that they're not yet a customer. You shared a strip, they bought maybe a few strips from you. You put them in the buddy group, they start using these products. And they start sharing it again with other people because we all have the same behavior. Learn them, test them, share them, and earn from them. That's what you can do with these 4 questions. Actually, what you do is you coach them to become the best version of themselves. And then you encourage them to have their own buddy groups. Because Elaine shared here today that she became part of my group, my buddy group. And she copied this within the next 2 days with 4, 5, 6 people. I don't know how many yet. And maybe in those 4, 5, 6 people she shared this with, there are already new buddy groups starting up. And if you don't have 3 people in a group, then create a group with 2. And if you don't have a group with 2, then then it's just you and somebody else. It starts with you, with your scan. That's what we're saying, right?